Well, it's obviously in terms of wins and losses, it's been a great situation for the team and the program, in the sense that at this point on the schedule with 3 losses, that's a pardon me a pretty a real good achievement in terms of the schedule that we had this year or the opponents we faced, and then like you say, we're finding ourselves with a weekend off and then 3 sets of series, 6 more games left before we hit the playoffs. So it's been great for the team in terms of wins and losses. It's I think at this point a huge achievement, and it's something to be proud of. Now it's time to kind of wrap it up. Internally, in terms of the season, it's just been a lot of fun. The group itself is fantastic. We have a real close-knit group that respects and supports each other. And when you have that, it really plays in to what you can do on the ice, and that becomes a key factor. So with respect to our players and what they've been able to do, it's just been phenomenal, because I think when you eliminate, a lot of times we like to talk about drama, like external drama, and from the social media stuff to just issues, when you're able to eliminate 90% of it, and allow not only coaches to focus on coaching, but players to focus on playing, it makes for a very enjoyable environment for everybody. And I think that's what we've had. Players have, I think, have had a lot of fun in the locker room, on the ice, outside, on campus and stuff, and the coaches are the same thing. So you have a very positive environment. It's a lot of fun, and that's directly attributed to the type of leadership we have on our team with our seniors and our upperclassmen, really setting the tone and setting the stage for how they want to see this program grow. So it's been a lot of fun. To sum up, we knew going in that each win was a 4-point swing. So you look at the big picture where it's 4 points for us or 4 points for Syracuse, or split like we did. But if you come away with both wins, all of a sudden you're 6 points ahead. Syracuse comes away with the 4 points, they're 2 points ahead. So there was an opportunity to fall behind and move ahead. And again, getting that first win on the first night was huge, just because, again, it just helped solidify a little bit in terms of our overall season standings with the conference, but also with Syracuse as an opponent as well. The one bright side and the positive part, and you get that first win, and the 4-game series, now that it's over, puts us ahead of Syracuse with 2 wins, a tie, and a loss. So in the big picture, at the end of the season, if you are tied head-to-head with a 1-2 like us and Syracuse, the tiebreaker obviously would go to us in that situation. So 2 tough road series, Mercyhurst first, then we're off to Syracuse, fighting a little bit of weather, fighting a little bit of injury, but getting that win was definitely huge. And then the second day we fought hard, but it just wasn't in the chips. So we did what we could, and we're happy with what we did. In truth, we kind of found, like last weekend, Syracuse was at home. It's that time of year where, you sometimes you got some bugs floating around. You've got some, not to say travel issues, but potential travel issues with weather. So the comfort of just being at home, maybe getting that extra night's sleep in our own beds after this weekend off is a good thing. It's not, the end-all be-all by any means. But hey, will I take a home series versus a road series? Absolutely. So it'll be a great week for us this week, being able to just focus on some smaller details. Then moving into next week, like you say, we'll get 4 practices in, and we'll sleep in our own beds, and we'll host RIT, which should be a great matchup coming off a break. So they're flying, getting a couple nice wins recently. So again, both teams, I think, will have a lot of confidence, and it should be a fun weekend of hockey. You're always gearing towards we kind of talked about with our team, we talk about an incline trajectory where, you know, sometimes the gains are huge, and usually at the beginning of the season, if you just kind of put it in a numerical standpoint, maybe we're making gains from 4 to 6, 5 to 8, where you're just seeing these big jumps. We're like, okay, we really improved on this area of our game this weekend. At this point of the season, the gains are much smaller, where, you know, you're going from hopefully an 8.5 to a 9 versus a 4 to a 4.5, but the gains are a little bit smaller and they're in tighter areas of the game. So at this time of year, it's the small things that make the difference sometimes in a win and a loss, because the real estate on the ice, the time and space out there is so small that you have to be good and quick to be able to utilize some of that. So we'll work on those smaller things, whether it's finishing around the net, tight area scoring, hands in tight with pressure, being able to say break the puck out, our D making great first passes after long shifts of pressure, our goalies working on rebound control, whistle control, and just moving pucks out and forward. So these smaller things, you know, like the details per se, the exclamation point, you know, the dot on the I, if we can focus on some of those areas and get better, I think we'll see an improvement in our overall game. And like I just kind of mentioned, it's not going to be the improvement where you go from a 6 to a 9 and you're like, wow, everything changed. It's going to be these subtle, small details that help us get the win, that help us get the penalty kill, maybe help us on the power play, or just help us finish off a 5-on-5 shift that was real tough. So if we can focus on that, we'll be better come next week.